You know we love franchises here on Money. I am still dreaming of starting my own. It is not Franchise Friday yet, but my next two guests are flourishing in the franchise game. They are former NFL players, Brandon Gorin and Tyoka Jackson. They are taking their professional lives post-pro football into their own hands. I love it. Running their very own franchises. Brandon owns Marco's Pizza, and Tyoka owns IHOPs. Welcome to the show. Tyoka, let me start with you.
Thank you, Melissa.
Why did you choose IHOP?
Well, I mean, growing up, my dad, brother, and I, who are my partners, we loved IHOP. It was an easy choice for me because, grew up loving their pancakes. Who doesn't love IHOP pancakes? They're the best pancakes in the world. But even more so as I started to do my due diligence, I mean, they're number one in family dining. So if you're going to get into the restaurant industry and align yourself with someone, why not align yourself with someone with the best? Someone who's been in the business for 50 years, who, when you hang their sign up, it's instant credibility and name recognition.
Brandon, is it different when you're a former professional player that opens a franchise? I mean, what we say here on the show is that if you open a franchise, you have to be willing to be the one at 3 o'clock in the morning when the pipe bursts to go down there and deal with the problem. But it's hard for me to imagine you guys doing that necessarily. I mean, you're celebrities, you're athletes. Are you the face of it, or are you, the guy with the wrench down there dealing with your franchise?
I'm hands-on, and I do. I mean, I know what you're saying. People ask me that all the time. I'm not a celebrity by any means, but I haven't had to answer a phone call at 3 o'clock, so I hope you don't jinx me. But I can make a great pizza, and I get in there and rub elbows with the rest of my employees if I have to. At this point, I've kind of grown to where I can step back a little bit, but at first I had to learn that and get involved and kind of get dirty, I guess.
Let me ask you about some of the news of the day. First of all, workers across the country striking, demanding $15 an hour as their minimum pay. I mean, you guys both run restaurants where you have people working part-time. What would that do to each of your businesses? Tyoka, let me ask you. Do you pay people $15 an hour at IHOP, and what would happen if you had to?
Oh, well, listen, I'm all for living wage, Melissa, but $15 an hour, that would really destroy my business, to be quite honest with you. I think there's probably a number that was thrown out to get the conversation started, and I'm certainly not against the conversation, but that number for me, would be not cost efficient and cost prohibitive, to be honest with you.
So how would you respond? Brandon, let me ask you, how would you respond? Would you have to let people go? Would you cut hours? Would you raise prices? Or would it cut into your profit? Go ahead.
I think it'd have to be a combination of all three of those. I'm like Tyoka said, I don't know if it could make sense, a business case can make sense for us to do that now without raising some kind of prices and kind of have some kind of inflation in what we have in our product right now to make ends meet. But I do agree with that. It's not afraid of the conversation and the living wage being something that's sustainable for everyone.
I don't want to let you go without asking you about the huge news out today in the NFL, that $765 million settlement about concussion-related injuries. Tyoka, what is your reaction to that? How do you feel about that? Is that fair? Is that right?
Well, to be honest with you, at first blush, it looks to be a little low to me, Melissa. That number, I think, could easily be in the billions. For a long time, the NFL has denied the correlation between playing football in the National Football League and long-term brain injury. And so I think us players, we've always have looked at the data and said there is a correlation. So I think the willingness to settle tells me that the NFL concurs that there's something there, but I'm not sure if you won't see a rash of players maybe opting out of this thing. But, we'll see what happens.
Okay, Brandon, real quick, what's your reaction?
Yeah, same thing. Obviously it's new news, and I don't know if I knew a number to put a number on it before this, but it's exciting. I'm looking forward to kind of knowing a little bit more of the details about how it broke down, what's really going on with the settlement itself.
Okay.
So I'm excited about it, and at least they have some movement there. That's good to see. It's positive to see.
Thanks to both of you. I wish we had more time. I really 78% of players in the NFL are bankrupt or facing serious financial stress within 2 years, and you both took your futures and your fortunes into your hands and did something really bold. Congratulations to both of you, and thanks for coming on the show. I hope you'll come back.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thanks for having us on the show.
And of course, tomorrow is Franchise Friday, my favorite. Be sure to tune in for Step by Step. Tomorrow we're doing staffing up, getting your staff together. All right.